here. This is then this shift in the demand and supply with the resulting equilibrium prices. We are given the equilibriums here. So you need to find out that these equilibrium belongs to which kind of event. So let's talk about this. I am shifting to the slide. So this is a market for petrol, remember. So this S naught and D naught is basically, let me remove that. So this market is on X is basically the market of, without any event, this is the marketplace right now. The condition is that price is here, quantity is here, right? Now read the first event. And these events are not related. You need to isolate these ones. So this is a separate, this is separate, this is separate, and this is separate. Number one, a rise in the cost of refining petrol. Now tell me, this is a market for petrol. Market what happened? There is a rise in the cost of refining petrol. This three-step process. This belongs to demand or supply? Everyone, please.
Is supply.
Supply.
Right? Supply, well done. So direction, left or right? So there is a rise in the cost of production. Supply will produce more or less?
Less, because
Less.
it's
Well
less
done.
profit.
So supply is going to decrease, right? So it means it will be, supply gonna be decreasing. So shift to the left. When shift to the left, it means S2, right? So D naught and S2 cuts at H, right? So our equilibrium is going to be on H, right? Let me erase this mess here. So you understand, in first part, supply shift to the left. So that's why we see here supply shift to the left. So everybody understand the part one? So that would be our first. What about the second one? A fall in bus and train fares. And we are talking about market of petrol. Does it have any connection with this? A fall in the bus and train fares. So those who are having their own private cars, they will demand more fuel or less fuel because they have option to travel through trains and less cheaper ways, right? So what happened to the demands of the petrol? Start decreasing, right? Guys, understand?
Yes.
So what will be the answer then? And the fall in bus and train fares, what happened? The demand for petrol for individual basis or for private purposes start decreasing. So people will be using less petrol or less gasoline for their own car. In that case, demand decrease, right? And demand decrease, demand shift to the left. In D2. So S0 and D2 intersect at F, right? Oops. Okay, yes. And now, third part. third part is, wait a second. There's a glitch in my, can you see screen here? Okay. F. So let me remove the mess here. Okay. Now a fall in the price of crude oil, and we are talking about the petrol, which is a refined form of crude oil. It means you refine that one and make a product as petrol. So two events happening at the same time, a fall in the price of crude oil and increase in the price of cars. So is three-step process. This belongs to demand or supply or both. The first part, a fall in the price of crude oil. It means input prices go down, right? Input prices go down, supply increase. Supplier will buy more crude oil because their profits are going to increase, right? Their input prices or raw material prices go down, so they buy more. But on the other hand, we see there is increase in the price of cars. So this is a market of petrol, right? If this is a market for petrol, then what happened? This is a market for petrol, and there is a relationship between car and petrol because petrol is integral part of car. You cannot run the car without petrol. This is price of related goods. There is a shift in demand, and the reason is not price. The reason is price of related goods, and this comes under complement, not substitute. Complement. So what happened here? If prices of the car increases, so people want more petrol.
No.
People will buy less cars. So when buy less cars, people will be using less petrols, right? So demand is decreased. So demand is decreased. So let's see here. So supply increase, supply shift to the right, which means S1. Supply shift to the right. So we see here is green color supply. And demand shift to the left, right? Demand decrease, shift to the left, which is D2. So we see E. Oh, I showed already answers. So I'm just seeing myself, and I didn't know that there's answer here. But you understand, right? This is E. Or do you want me to explain one more time? You understand this third part, Karanan, Gustavo, Mirko, PD?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
Okay,
for
the
me,
fourth part.
for
Yes?
me, just I didn't know the meaning of crude oil.
Okay.
I thought it was like the same meaning of petrol. So
Okay.
then there is a difference. Yeah.
Okay. Now you know, right? Because when you extract oil from the well, that is not, that not suitable for the cars or any other thing. So you basically refine it. So that is a crude oil. You refine it, then you make different products. High octane. You also extract diesel from that one, and the gasoline or the petrol is like that. So okay, if you misunderstood that one, then okay, no problem. The fourth one, again, very interesting. Let me change the color here. So yeah. A rise in tax on petrol, a reduction in tax on cars. So it means two events are happening at the same time. So three-step process. Number one, this belongs to demand or supply. Let's talk about the first part. A rise in tax on petrol. What happened?
Supply is decreasing.
Which means sellers' profit now shrinking. It's decreasing. So they produce less petrol. So number one belongs to supply. Supply decrease. Number two, a reduction in the taxes on car. What happened? We are talking about the market of petrols, and now there is a decrease in the price of cars. So what happened to the petrol market or gasoline market, petrol market? When people, so here, if the price
Increase.
has reduced, if the price of car reduce, its demand increases. When people buy more cars, they will be buying more petrol or gasoline. In that case, demand increased, right? So now we have to see that the supply decrease, supply shift to the left, which is S2, this one, right? And the demand has increased, demand shifted to the right. So it means we have A. Now you understand? Fourth part? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay, let me shift the controls from left to right. Okay, here, the answer is H, F, E, A. Okay, now the other assignment parts. Let's talk about its solution. I already uploaded the solution. Okay, I think now we should talk about its here. Here we go. So you can also find out that, okay, this is the market for sweaters, right? All you need to do, you need to find out whether the hurricane, in South Carolina, damages crops or not. So you can just open the solution file. You can find out that whether, I have pasted the answer, it is, you understand or not. If you have any confusion, you can just message me and I will be explaining that to you as well. How about the question number 2? So question number 2, we have demand and supply schedule. All you need to do, draw a demand supply curve here. You need to find out the equilibrium price, what is the effect, and what if we have new supplies increase or decrease. You just put the values here and find out what's going on here. New equilibrium price, changing price, and all those stuff. So I have pasted the solution. You can just compare over there. Number 1, which is I think I need to explain, and I hope so.